containment sector. Panopticon, floor 4, unit 14. Mind of Jesse Faden, Polaris shell inside, thus transmitted through Remedy Entertainment through a screen device to your eyeballs. That's how it works. I believe we had just seen a bit of a peek at an old friend there in the containment sector, which was a long time coming and worth it in every sense. We now have a few more containment sector jobs from Langston here, a flamingo and a mannequin that we need to find.
The astral spike end up in the archives. But full records are gonna get torn to shreds.
Oh, Langston's upset about that astral spike. I can see why. Really isn't much left in the archives after it tore through there. But Artie will see to that. Alright. So I do believe we picked up a few ability points as part of the last session. And I am still raising this in the off chance that there's something in the Foundation that requires a crazy amount of levitation time. I'm still not entirely sure if there is, but we're going that way. I should also start to get some of these C's powers. Perfect. We'll keep working on it. Alright, so now I need to be in either near the clock threshold or the prime candidate program. Let's try clock threshold first. And I don't know what types of powers these things have. We may have in the past found the documents related to the mannequin or the flamingo, but I am not sure. I guess we're in for a quick attack. Got the achievement for spending 100 ability points. It's a nice little feather in the cap there. Though Jesse's not much of a hat person. There. A little peace and quiet. Alright. That's not the map. I'm doing my classic, what are the controls for control? There's the map. Alright, so it should be just in here. And this one is the flamingo. Okay. That makes me feel better. I'm not quite emotionally ready for the mannequin just yet. It's too early still. So nice to see you there in the chat. Good morning. I am well, thank you for asking. And it looks like everyone else is covered. I won't even bother asking. I'll just wait. I'll wait for the news. Okay, so I'm assuming there must be a door or something back here I'm not seeing. Where are you, little flamingo? What this plastic sheeting that unfurls into this office with these little flags is for? It must just be part of the investigation when the clocks were first appearing. They were like, oh, this is strange. Let's mark off each one individually. And then at some point, they gave up. We all know what happened with the clocks. I feel like there should be a thing here. This seems to be where the icon is. There doesn't really seem to be anything below it. It could be that I need to go back to where, say, the, oh, I forget which item it even was in here. The anchor was stored? Like it might be somewhere like that that just looks weird on the map. I'll have to keep poking around. I'm sure we've seen this one. With our delightfully awkward research assistants. Alright, so out here is way more into the normal point of it. Kinda has to be back there. Sealed threshold corridor. Just gonna do the diligence around the corner here. Make sure it's not in this main. This was where, like, the Chinese lantern or Japanese lantern was. So this is where the anchor would be. Let me just take a peek in here. In case it's showing up weird on the map. I know this, like, takes you into the astral plane, and then I'm not sure how that shows up. Yeah, it could totally be down here. Maybe possible. Good thing we got that levitation duration. Oh, I see you lurking there. Oh! It's a dreadful impression. But I do see it. Okay, so it is not with the anchor. That's fair enough. Just had to check. Assuming there would be a little flash of pink light or something to guide me in the off chance it was hidden above. They wouldn't just leave me completely to my own devices, I have to assume. So I don't think we're looking in there. We did very briefly try on that, janitor outfit, yes. We didn't ever actually move around in it much. But we tried it at the Central Executive Station. It was a dreadful wolf impression, yes. A scratchy-throated morning attempt. Come on now. Allow me to kill you gently. That's the spirit. Now get out of here. This bathroom is rather dark. I don't appreciate that. Okay, so I think I have to get back around here. Let me see. Peeking up here while I'm at it. So I am assuming that I am missing something very simple down here. There's a bit of pink. This is what I'm expecting to see. Okay. And what's it gonna do to me? Is pink mist bad for humans? Oh, hello, sir. You busy? Or can I speak to you? Oh, he's busy.
That's got to be an altered item.
Wow, okay. That was a lovely little sequence. Either that or I've been taking some drugs. Alright. This looks like our friend.
Altered item.
Hey, buddy. I don't want to fight.
Is it fighting the board?
How about we just don't? Huh? Where'd you go, friend? Transformer. I'm really hoping that's the right thing to do there. I'm beginning to have doubts. The further we get into the Foundation, the less I want to fight that thing. Ooh, it looks like we got a... I almost missed it there. Or I did flat out miss it. We got a... Flamingo procedures. Let's find it. Alright, altered item 46. No unique procedure required. The altered status is unverified. It's a plastic pink flamingo. 2 steel prongs extend from its underside. If I can be indecent, sorry. The item is suspected to influence atmospheric physics, altering meteorological phenomena in the area. The effect is currently unconfirmed. Well, it was confirmed enough for Former to take control of it and try to crawl into our reality through it, so I'm gonna say yes. Confirmed altered item. Alright, what's that? Ah, the light switch cord. That will probably just take me back out, Probably won't take me to the motel, but will just take me out to the other side, is what I'm thinking. Darn, I was so hoping we'd get to go to the motel, but okay. Fair enough. It's like the only one I still know of that I can still get to. But I don't think any of them take you to the actual motel. At this point, I really want to get back there. Okay, so now we're looking for the Prime Candidate program. We can probably fast travel out at the next opportunity. And let's find that mannequin. Though it pains me deeply to do so. That's really my one thing. So we might be able to go through here, actually. I just forget where the entrance is. Let's look for a sign. Are you up there, God? We need a sign. Oh no, a literal sign. I'm sorry. I misunderstood. There we go. Oh, hello. Hello and good morning for good dogs. I'm just gonna... Oh, no, not that one. I want the... Oh, no, it's gone forever now. Oh well. Artie, we got a cleanup in Prime Candidate program. I'm sorry. It was me again. Yes, I was trying to pick up a picture of a dog. I'm sorry, Artie. Oh, we're playing Pillar Peek. Okay. We'll just keep peekabooing then. Down, boy. Down with your Pillar Peek. If we were playing The Witcher, it would be a Pillar Peek. But we're not. Why don't you face me, you coward? Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, mannequin. It's time. It's just you and me now. Oh, God, I hope it's just you and me now. I am assuming and expecting mannequin. I do not see mannequins anywhere in the description here. So there better be mannequin, or we're gonna have some words. I don't have time for more of you. This isn't the time. Have you heard there's a mannequin loose? It's really quite serious. Show yourself. Do it. Okay, I guess it's not in here. I got your friend. Do you want him? Here you go. Let's check the other side of the wall. Ah, an easy chest I missed. Oh, did infection just come out? Thank you for notifying me. I need to check, and jumped right into control instead. Thank you very much. I am excited for you guys to see that. That turned out really, really impressive to me. I'm proud to be a part of it. And you know me and pride. Something very, very interesting I saw online, actually. This was not my thought. I wish it was. About this picture here where someone is circled and it says relax behind them. Let me go ahead and move in here. 1 second. Sorry, Jesse. You just sit there. Don't breathe or think. So this photograph is interesting because I want to say Chloe Anderson, though that may not be the actress. I may be thinking of someone else. Let me make sure. 1 second. Courtney Hope. Yes, of course. Courtney Hope. I'm so sorry. The actress is in another Remedy game. The one just prior is Quantum Break. And she played a character named Beth Wilder in Quantum Break. And it's interesting because in Alan Wake, there's that whole poem that Thomas Zane gives you that's like, beyond the deeper, darker, for he did not know that beyond the lake he called home, there was a deeper, darker ocean green, where the waves are both wilder, so both Wilder, Beth Wilder, and more serene, Paul Serene, are two characters from Quantum Break. And so that ties into Alan Wake and then Quantum Break, and then here, this actually appears to be a picture, strangely enough, of Jesse Faden meeting Beth Wilder. That's both Courtney Hope's characters from Quantum Break and this. So it's like, for some reason, at some point in the past, Jesse Faden met her doppelganger, or at least it's an Easter egg that she did. Which I think is kind of interesting, because that seems to be Beth Wilder's exact jacket and hat. And it's also interesting to note that she wasn't lying about being a janitor. She's genuinely a janitor in the past. And has genuinely been mugged. I don't think she's going to be getting mugged much after this experience. Alright, so we're still looking. Still looking for a mannequin. Oh, thank you very much for spreading the word. Okay, I'm sure we would have seen that. Threshold Kids, though I'm always tempted to watch Threshold Kids at every opportunity. So, it must be further in. Further into the program. I'm genuinely a little disquieted. In the spirit of me. As we approach this mannequin. Okay, I don't necessarily want to be in the transit corridor. I don't think the mannequin would be either, considering the label of prime candidate. So where? Really? Guys, I am trying to protect you as much as I am myself here. Think the hiss want to deal with some nasty mannequin? No. course not. Nobody wants to deal with this, but I'm doing you all a favor. Oh, you're healing up. Okay. Well, you enjoy. Okay, so what are my other options here? We have the long, twisty corridor, which did not seem to contain it above or below. We have the 3 prime candidate rooms, which we have now searched. I don't know. I'm also not sure, like, how big a deal it is. Like, is it going to be moving around and throwing things at me? Or is it a hide and seek? A mannequin watching me, clutched to the roof like a spider monkey, grinning madly. What's the deal, huh? Okay, he could just be standing right here. And I could press a button, and I'd have him. Ah, there we go. Finally. I must have walked right past that. I'm so sorry. Okay. We're taking a trip.
God, the only thing creepier than one mannequin is a few dozen of the damn things.
I just asked you. I just said. It's gonna be okay. All right. Just don't look directly at any of them, and it'll be fine. Which one of you is the real mannequin? Am I supposed to just start executing? This is fantastic, though. Alright, they're invincible. Maybe that's the one.
New bureau policy. No more mannequins.
Lovely mannequin procedures. Let's see what it would have done to me. Altered item 7. Early in the cycle. Acquisition date 1967. That's fantastic. A waste mannequin. Okay, no known procedures for preventing the item's effect. Update as of 1990. Lining the item cell with the newly discovered black rock has yielded positive results. Test this with other altered items. So that's interesting. That the black rock started to come into play around the 90s. A wire and fabric waste mannequin. The base and head are made of stained wood. The item duplicates, but the trigger for this behavior is unknown. No correlation can be found in either the number of duplications that manifest during an episode or the duration for which they last before disappearing. I am just glad the former wasn't hiding inside of it. And I'm particularly glad the former wasn't dancing around in mannequin form, having finally gained entrance to our world. Okay, so I'd better head back to Panopticon. Head back out to logistics here. I somehow thought that was the way to logistics. It's not. Maybe it is the second level. Got myself confused. Okay, we'll go back and speak to Langston real quick. See if he has any other runaways for us, or if that's finally the entire Panopticon group. I guess it's really not that much of a walk straight out there, but I'll go fast travel regardless. So sorry for the extra loading screen. So yes, if anyone has a spare moment today, if I may advertise, please do jump on over to the, I believe it's YouTube, it's like /c/creepypizza_. The underscore is important, but the YouTube channel creepypizza_ has a new short film called Infection, in which I have a very small but proud part. Alright, back to Langston. So sorry. Advertising over.
Every altered item on your list is now back in the Panopticon, safe and sound.
That's a load off my mind. Missing altered items don't exactly reflect well on me, you know. Did they give you
No, they
any
sure
trouble?
didn't.
The flamingo pulled me into the astral plane just
No,
like
they
the
sure
first
didn't.
did. That same creature was there.
I was looking over the old activity reports, and multiple items have been displaying much more destructive behavior in the past few weeks. There's some connection there, I bet, but that's a bit above my pay grade.
Well, something to keep an eye on.
And if I have
His
any
pay
more
grade?
runaways, I'll know just who to call.
I guess
Artie,
this is my
yes.
life now.
Okay. 3 extra ability
I'll see you
points.
later, Langston.
Generous Langston.
I'll be here. Like always.
Hey, big spender. Let's see if that gets us anything fun. Nope. There. Alright. How about one of these? Yeah, seize an additional enemy for 3. Well worth it. I'm sure. Alright, so the Panopticon should be in better shape now. Let me make sure we don't have any other outstanding missions. Just the expeditions. I'm gonna dive, literally, astral dive into that later. So yes, we're all caught up and ready to get back to the main progress path at the Nail. This is what I wanted. I realized during the last couple of sessions I jumped into the Foundation DLC before we had properly completed, say, all of these runaways. And I felt like I was doing it just a bit out of order. I wanted to make sure we had our house in order, and then we can descend to the Foundation to worry about that. So let's now head back down there. And we'll be, I'm sure, in the oldest house proper once again, the Bureau proper for the AWE expansion that is coming at the end of the month. I would very much like to know more about Langston and his past. He does give off the air of not being qualified for the position he's in any sense, and he does relatively nothing throughout the course of the game to help you. But I'm sure he's a vital and integral part of the entire building. Somehow. I hope they give him the chance to prove himself. Alright, back to the crossroads. We have one key worth of repair done on the nail, which I believe was off that way. Let me check in with Emily Pope. Head of research, Emily Pope, everyone.
They found around the Foundation. So if you need backup, just call them at one of the stations.
I will do, thank you. Tell me
How
more.
did the Hiss get into the Foundation?
Same way we did, I imagine. But you need to remember that the Hiss are the embodiment of persistence. Their nature seems to be one of force, to find every possible vulnerability and exploit it. Their only goal is consumption.
I'm sure there's plenty of goodies for them down here. The nail, for instance.
If the Hiss could corrupt the nail, I'm sure they would have by now. It must not interest them in its broken state. They could be distracted by the numerous unknown paranatural materials I'm sure are lying around. These are the roots of the oldest house. The Hiss will find plenty of ways to make trouble.
They're pretty good at that. So you've never heard of the Foundation, huh?
I've never even seen the name referenced. Clearly it's highly classified, but for what reason? The problem with these kinds of closed-off hidden areas is that they were likely sealed for good reason. But now no one is left to tell us what that reason was.
Any guesses why the Bureau would hide something like this?
I only know what I've observed. This place is spatially rigid, which means it doesn't shift like the rest of the oldest house. Before you ask why that is, I have to admit that I'm clueless. There's some signal interfering with my equipment, making it hard to get a clear reading. It's being emitted from the floor. Maybe I should have brought a jackhammer.
The astral plane is already taking chunks out of this place, Emily. Let's not add to it.
So there's a signal in the floor of the Foundation that, like our ley lines, prevents shifting. The physicality of the Foundation is completely stable and does not shift. Yet it is inside the oldest house. Like it's not that we've somehow gotten back out into the real world and it's not shifting anymore. It's deeper than that.
So let me get this straight. The astral plane is bleeding into the Foundation.
Correct.
And that's happening because the nail is damaged.
I'd say it's a bit more than damaged, but yes, that is my understanding.
So what's the connection between the nail and the astral plane?
It's a good question. See, I always pictured objects of power as strings between our plane and the astral. If the nail has a similar relationship, then maybe it's more accurate to think of it like plumbing. Now that the nail is busted, sewage is gushing everywhere.
Not the prettiest metaphor.
A continuing theme.
Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself.
Alright, so let's pick a direction and stick with it. This one keeps calling to me above this old drawing of the former. Or what I assume to be an old drawing of the former, but may not be. According to that document we found, the guy said the cave drawings look old, but he can't really date them any further back than he arrived. The implication almost seems to be that he drew them himself, but didn't remember. Dr. Theodore Ash, or maybe it was another guy. It was a while ago. Let's try to get up here. Warehouse. Good. That is what is probably the first one they're pointing out for you. I ran off that way for some reason, but let's check down here. have this power. Not that power. This power. Should be able to get up here. Past expeditions were not so fortunate. Watch out for stalactites. Right in the eye. Okay. This looks like I'm about to be attacked. Judging by all these open angles. So this must be that other power. They said I could have one. The board is only giving me one of the powers. So I can't shatter, I can only create crystal. For now, he says, hopefully. What is that? Just steel? Because this would have been way, way before black rock was a thing, but I keep seeing, like, stacks of that stuff. It must just be platforms. Alright, why is it telling me this? There. Any old recordings? Still haven't been attacked either. It's almost as if I'm just not a good judge of these things. Okay, we're headed this way. Oh, you sent the video out to a big group? Thank you very much. Now I have you advertising for me. I'm so sorry. I owe you cucumber sandwiches. And a lathe to cut them with, as is my wont. Ooh, I wonder if this is one of those stations Emily was just saying. If you need help, call in a ranger.
I need a ranger sent to this location, stat.
Okay. There he is. Hey, that works fantastically.
It's an honor, Director.
Did you bring my glass of milk that I ordered? No? No, okay. Okay. I mean, we'll talk about it later. You're not off the hook, for sure. Wow. Okay. Sure about this, buddy? Let's see what's waiting for us. Let's check these buildings first, maybe even up here. Do it in sequence. Alright, can't shatter through that. I'll have to keep it in mind. I can likely jump along there. But that's what I've been waiting for. Okay, so keep that in mind. That seems to be a way up, perhaps to there. But let's check these buildings. My favorite. History of the oldest house. Now there's a document. The oldest house has revealed much to me during my months in the Foundation. Once again, Dr. Theodore Ash, previous head of research, I'm assuming like in the 1960s, head of research. Primarily the tree etchings bewilder me. What is their significance? If the house has changed shape over its lifetime, as I've theorized, then was it a tree in its first form? Fascinating. I sent a team to the Schwartzman building in search of pre-settlement accounts of Manhattan Island. From those, I discovered a single relevant line, and there I found a tree not known to me, the devil twisted within its bark. That line, taken with the fact that certain American cultures believed some trees would offer wisdom and guidance, is indeed interesting. However, it's hardly firm evidence, and though I am now bound to the oldest house, I remain a man of science. Of course, there are numerous ancient beliefs regarding trees. Yggdrasil, the tree of knowledge. Yax Imixche, I don't know. Some cultures offered blood sacrifices to trees, while others claimed trees endowed chosen individuals with inhuman powers. That sounds familiar. Do New York City's many murders act as sacrifice for the oldest house? Does the house have a chosen champion? Is it me? Oh, Theodore, I wish we could speak directly. I have questions. Are you Dr. Theodore Ash? Is that the secret here? Because I have questions for you. Alright, that's only the first little shack. What else is waiting for us? So it's possible. What I'm getting from that is that it's possible... Huh. It's kind of weird. It's possible that before New York City was founded, this was a forest, and that the oldest house still existed within it. It was just in tree form. Which is absolutely fascinating. So why can I turn on the shower? I guess I can't. Why can't I turn on the shower? Rule of 3 doesn't apply. Alright. I'll keep that in mind. There is a shower in the second building of the warehouse. Keep it in there. Don't you... I'm losing it. No, you keep... Pyramidic geometry. 1 second. Okay, on the pyramid and geometry. I've been going through my library, researching pyramids and triangles. If that shape does relate to the board, as Northmore says, then perhaps our predecessors in the occult can offer some insight through their geometric knowledge. In esotericism, the triangle is closely associated with the Holy Trinity and other three-part concepts: past, present, future, mind, body, spirit. Interestingly, the term board also implies multiple parts. Upright triangles in Judeo-Christian imagery indicate ascent into the rational or divine realm. Inverted, it signifies a descent into the corporeal or human. Naturally, the ascent is masculine and the fall is feminine, Adam and Eve. It's just a bit of old-world patriarchy. It's 1964 now, and we're well past that silliness. Considering the above, what does the inverted triangle tell us about the board? They're clearly not corporeal or human. Perhaps they wish to be, or they once were. The likeliest answer is simply that theological imagery cannot help us define alien entities. But still, the pyramid seems significant. Shapes have power, and clearly, so does the board. That is fascinating, that it is... The fact that it's an inverted pyramid coming down through the astral plane, or down through the house, means meeting man. It's not an ascent to divine, it's coming down to our level.
Is this a Bureau ID badge? It looks so old. Hope will definitely want to see this.
Something new for Emily. As a huge fan of Emily, I'm glad. I'm glad she has something new. Ah, there's another one too. Just beyond the door. Alright. Let me switch this back. We'll, I'm sure, be back to talk to Emily in time. So, I can get up to that window. Let's check this other entrance I think I saw here. And another building. Wow, you are a quick climber. I'm impressed. And a little freaked out. Alright, here's another actual recording.
8 days now spent inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name. I'm too tired to ask why. I'm not...
So sorry to interrupt. Just seeing your question there. That would be lovely. Yeah, thank you very much. That's definitely okay with me. To put a link to the short film in the Discord there. Thank you for picking up my slack. I should have. I appreciate it.
sleeping well. Per orders, me and my research team have established a permanent examination lab in the Foundation. I basically live down here now, like the obedient head of research Father raised me to be. I spend my days investigating that odd pillar where Northmore found the handgun. The work was half-hearted at first, I admit. But then I discovered numerous non-Aristotelian energy channels converging at its base. Ley lines, dragon roads, Hyligalinian, call them what you want. But this pillar is the crossroads. I started building something. Equal parts talisman and technology. An array that can impose order on the ley junctions. That's the idea, at least. You'll see when I'm done. I prefer to work away from the pillar. I'm not the only one who feels like that thing has eyes.
So interesting. 1 second here. I'll be right back. Okay, so sorry. Let me just try to look something up really quickly. Just heard that he was talking about the ley lines. And he said Hyligalinian, which I have not heard of before. It's apparently holy lines. And it was an occult belief of like the I can never remember what this whole branch of 1920s Germany was called back then. So there's this implication that in the Foundation here in the 1960s, one of the research assistants the Bureau, or not assistants, one of the researchers the Bureau brought in is an ex-Nazi scientist. And I believe he would have brought that term in. So I'm just trying to keep track of it. So the idea of holy lines or ley lines is something they figured out way, way back in the 60s. So that we could have those control points and everything. I'm so sorry. Too many Wikipedia tabs open there. Ahem. Let me get my brain back. The deed is done. The pact is sealed. The blood oath has been cemented. I am thrilled. Thank you. It's very, very kind of you to post that link. I appreciate it. Okay, so the elevator is sticky, but I should be able to activate it just fine. Let me do this first. We have a room out here. Another pass card.
Weird place to leave an ID card, but okay.
I guess those do kind of explode. Should keep an eye out for those. In case I run into trouble. Right, so that does say back to the crossroads, but that's not the way we came, is it? So it's like a secondary path back to the crossroads? It does have a nail illustration. Aha. So it should be back to the crossroads, but much like that line from Ritual Division to Central Research is blocked, perhaps? Sure seems like it. Though I think Jesse could slip on through there. That's not a big concern for Jesse, but we'll call it blocked. Alright, good to know. So it's just a extra spot for collectibles, not two paths to the crossroads. That's great. So what's over here? Aha.
Another ID card.
Lovely.
Or a cartographer.
So I'm guessing that is one. That also might be one. There we go. Let's see if I can make it. Nope. Yeah, so I'll probably need to come from the other angle to get up to that window. No problem. Let's get over there now, then we'll take the elevator after we figure out what's in the window. All right. Oh, hello and welcome. Every time you come in, Twitch wants to celebrate the anniversary of your subscription. Leave me alone, Twitch. I like to keep some things private. Hello, welcome. So nice to see you there. I'm out
Another
here
one of
collecting
those
ID
cards.
cards in the foundation of the
Chief.
oldest house. Alright, what do you got for us? Meteor Hill. Altered World Event number 3 in 1958, Sawyer County, Wisconsin. Per archival mandates 8.A, this document has been edited to meet current administrative standards and certain terminology may be out of date. Event summary. This paradimensional occurrence, must be what they used to call them, POs instead of AWEs, consisted of 3 sequential sinkholes induced by subterranean implosions revealing foreign material of magmatic quality. A local chapter of the Youth Science League were participating in an archaeological dig on the hill when the event occurred. Many boys were injured in the resulting collapse. Some touched the magma directly. That's not something you want your boys to touch. Bureau agents arrived at the scene 7 days after the incident. Took you a while. Samples of the lava-like material were taken. The area was quickly sealed off from the public at our recommendation. Our aim was to ensure all remnants of the material were rendered inoffensive, but the magma descended too deeply into the earth to retrieve. Foul-smelling odors were detected in the area, which were hypothesized being the dissipated element's vapor trail left at the scene. All acquired material was delivered to Washington for examination in the Bureau's on-site laboratories. So that was in 1958. The Bureau was still based in Washington. They had not found the oldest house in New York yet, even though it was sitting there right in front of their face. I'm sorry about the boys and the touching and the magma. That's rather unfortunate. Alright, so I didn't put that power core in, otherwise we would be able... No. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I did put the power core in. I could have sworn I did not.
It's working.
Maybe it's for something
I'll go
else
in
in that case.
I wonder if I can charge it up somehow.
Okay. Now I can get to power core storage. Ding ding. So there is another one there. And a document. Power cores. I have been curious on the invention of the power core. After numerous attempts, I've finally found a way to intercept and contain the ambient energy of the ley lines in a kind of non-Aristotelian battery I've dubbed the power core. I admit it was difficult capturing an energy I can barely measure, much less interact with. Luckily, it seems that the porous stone of the Foundation's caverns possesses such conductive qualities. Using stone flakes and copper wire, my power cores collect significant power. My early prototype collected too much, in fact, but I've since reinforced the container. We don't yet know the repercussions of tapping into this power field. As a precaution, these devices should not be taken outside of the house. Ideally, the Bureau should no longer need to rely on typical energy sources. It is my greatest feat of engineering yet. I've always had an interest in invention. I like the creativity that it allowed, set within the firm boundaries of logic and physics. Father never approved, calling it a mundane science. With that in mind, I dedicate this invention to Theodore Ashe, Sr. May he scowl in peace. Okay, so we have as many power cores as we possibly need, but only some of them are flashing. This must be old power cores. I'm guessing we'll need as many as they can give us. So let's throw this one in there. And then pull this one out. And we'll just keep it in the elevator itself in case we need a new one higher up. Is that all? Last chance. Speak now. Alright, let's see what's up here. Tunnel access. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much for stopping by there. Good to see you. Okay, this forklift did something criminal, I guess. As well as those tires, those shifty tires. Finally behind bars where you belong. Distinctly pyramid-shaped roof. Tell me about it, Ted.
Plus 51. Northmore has ordered an all-hands search for objects similar to the service weapon. He claims there are more in the house, though I don't see how he's so certain. He's been strange lately, talking about joining greater causes, and frequently mentioning a pyramid. After pressing him, he finally described this pyramid to me. Inverted, black, mathematically perfect. Oddly enough, Adam and the other id have shown me numerous inverted triangles painted on the cave walls. Surely there's a connection, but I don't see it yet. As far as occult symbols go, triangles are by no means rare. Flood, Levi, Kroll, they used that shape like it was going out of fashion. Standing on their base, triangles signify stability and strength. Inverted on their points, they represent conflict and stagnation. Of course, the orientation is just a matter of perspective. Looking at the pyramid from below gives you one, from above another.
It's an interesting point.
He looks up at the inverted pyramid. I have to wonder, is anyone standing over it, looking down?
Okay, so there does appear to be more to the elevator, but not in a floor I have access to, seemingly. I just have these three. So there may be another spot to put a power core that I'm not seeing. But we are rather high up now. I'd be curious to take a dive around the whole thing, but I see we have further levels up there anyway, so let me just keep going around for now. I'm sure they'll get us there. I'm very curious about those id. He's mentioning Adam and so on. He, like, named a bunch of them. They seem to be, like, formless gray humanoids that exist down here, I guess. Early form of the ley lines they were figuring out, drawn in the sand. Alright, we have more shatter stuff here for whenever we get that ability. I can't wait. It's a nice flat wall, just begging for a cave painting, but no such luck. Here's more of those weirder guys. These are not quite the traditional hiss. There's something off about them. Whee! Alright. It's probably about time for me to do another, weapon mod pass. Let me check here. Headshot damage, yes. That's one. That's one I'll take you up on. Damage 53, alright. Keep that one in. None of those are really helpful right now. Alright. So sorry. This room seems so innocuous that I'm almost certain they're going to hide some special collectible in here from me. Because it's one of those rooms that I just, by design, want to race right through and not give a second thought. So I'm going to give it a couple of second thoughts, just in case. It's covered in eyes. Subtly covered in eyes. There was some document we read about a room with eyes all over the walls down here. But that doesn't quite match up. I mean, they're not all over the walls. It's getting very red now.
Worst I've ever seen is take the nail. End of the world.
So I can't let the hiss take the nail. Not a problem. I know how to handle them.
Always a pleasure to see you, Marshall. Alright, so that's where we went in. Now we're another level up. And there is another break in the elevator. We can also go up the wall that way. So let's take a peek in here first. Should be able to get back out easy enough. Another Meteor Hill document. Alright, the retrieved material was subjected to Fellstrom's array, configuration 74B, but the tests were halted as the matter began to physically elude the equipment. Attempts to constrain the element were made, but under further stress it became vaporous. What? The researchers suffered corrosive injuries prior to their deaths. The child victims at Meteor Hill recounted the material enveloping them in a pleasant manner upon making contact, but when discovered they were and screaming. Just and screaming so much. Bodily changes were perceived immediately, deformities, loss of pigment in the skin and hair, and mental symptoms surfaced in subsequent examinations, confusion and heightened aggression. The Department of Public Knowledge and Diversions, that's a fun name, gave statements claiming the incident was caused by debris from poorly made Russian satellites, which the public accepted with no complications. Well, of course they did. The children were sent to the Bureau's recuperation facility in, Minsk, to receive help away from society. So a meteor landed that was a solid metallic material that caused instant deformities and mental symptoms, and any time that the metal of the meteor was subjected to tests, it would escape by becoming vaporous? That does not sound good for humans. That sounds bad for humans. But I just love that. The Department of Public Knowledge and Diversions. It kind of subverts itself right in the name. Public knowledge and diversions. It's like, that's not really knowledge, is it? I love it. Alright. Let's try up this wall here. Come on out. There you go. Alright, we're getting closer to whatever that is. Still a lot of elevator left, seemingly. Like, what's that? Whoa. That strobing effect is interesting. Oh wow, these must be the id. I wonder if that's who strobes in, like the hiss flash red. When they spawn, these guys are different. These are those smooth gray things. But it seems like the hiss are kind of making them aggressive by extension here. They're not supposed to be aggressive, according to those documents. And then I have no idea what to make of these. I'm assuming they're basic hiss, but they act completely different. So it's like, I'm not sure if they're a modification of both id and hiss somehow joined, or if they're just, you know, earlier hiss, like more further back. There it is, in the Bureau's history. Not more back in the Bureau's history, but... Alright, we have another break in it, and something steaming. in there. I think the corn is ready. I'd better go ahead and jump in there before we pass it by. There must be some purpose to those, like obviously I'm assuming they explode in combat, if you're interested in such a thing, but there must be another reason that I'm not catching on to. All right. Foundation etchings. On the 4 etchings. My explorations of the Foundation have resulted in yet another mystery, a fascinating series of etchings on large stone tablets. The tablets themselves are likely not native to the Foundation, seeing as they're slabs of sedimentary stone, quite different from the cave's categorization-defying rock. Their placement and form are too intentional to be naturally occurring, but who braved this place to carry them in, and for what purpose? I discovered a 5-point macro entanglement between the tablets with the pillar at its center. These links seem to extend beyond our level of consciousness to some astral realm I can't detect. Is Northmore's board somehow tied to all this? The etchings on these tablets are similarly curious. They differ from the cave paintings in style and technique, so are clearly not of the same origin. Are they like the visual narration of some event, or do they indicate intent, a wish, a plan? They also seem to consist of a tree. They only seem to consist of a tree and the pillar, but the sizes of either are inconsistent. What does that signify? I'm missing key pieces of this puzzle, and it's unlikely I'll ever find them. I'm assuming he's talking about those stones we're finding that take us to the keys. I'll stop at the next one here to see if I can figure out what he's talking about. But it seems to be an etching of a tree and the nail. I knew it was the same etching of the tree that we saw, say, in Ati's foundation place, wherever that is. Not sure if this is useful at all. Probably not. But I remember looking at that tree etching in Ati's foundation spot and not really seeing the nail as part of it, so I need to look closer. Alright, we'll come back to the strange red glow of the elevator shaft in a moment. Let me head back here and see where this is taking us. So sorry, let me catch up to the chat here. 1 second. Bureau history. That's what we're here for. Both the hiss and the history. Alright, we are really climbing. So there's another break there, and I'm wondering if this one is one we've been to before? I'm assuming so, since there's a platform there. That's probably one of the ones we've already been in, so let's go in here. And that's a little weird. Seems to be a beam stuck outside. Ah, finally one I can actually get rid of. Okay. A set of lights, not a beam. Huh. And there's another one. But it's on the inside of the shaft. I have to do something tricky for that. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna need to like stop the elevator up there, because once it's down here, it will have a floor and a ceiling, say, that will prevent me. But I must be able to stop it in motion, I'm assuming. They did kindly give us another one here, it looks like. Though it is behind that, so I could just get around it by using the one from below. But we'll still try to stop it. Make sure we have access. Alright, yes, upper warehouse. And right about there. Did that take care of it? Looks like it. Let's go back down. Perfection. Now we have another one for next time. And a quick check in here. Oh, goodness me. What a load of gifts. A cornucopia of gifting. Thank you very, very much. That's incredibly kind. Oh, I see red. Didn't catch it in time. I'm not sure about that one. Come over here, you. Maybe I can't get it from inside. Make sure there's not like a small slit or something I'm missing, but it doesn't seem like it. That one too is external. I must need to come back down the outside. Ah, that one worked. Huh. Maybe I just was too low. Let me go back down. There. It's just underneath it. I don't know what that's getting me exactly, but I'm assuming we're on the right path. incredibly generous of you. Thank you very, very much for all those subscriptions. Oh, it's another one of these cats. We found one of these in like a box coming out of the first nail area. Thanks again. We'll see you soon, I hope. I don't know what these are for. I picked the other one up out of the box and I haven't seen it since. They're disappearing off somewhere. I'm gonna need to figure that out. But I'm assuming it appeared because we correctly smashed all of those things on the way up. That's my best guess. And otherwise it would not have appeared. Oh, thanks, Polaris. It looks like there's actually a control point behind this one. That's the best hidden location by far, in that case. Okay. No documents. No recordings for me, that's fine. I see how it is. So we do have one power core left. I'm not sure if we're actually going to need it or not. Because we have arrived.
Another etching.
So yeah, the etching of the tree in Ahti's place has what looks like a canopy at the top, and then all these roots. It's the same basic root structure, I think. But here, it's not a canopy, it's not a tree on top, it is the pyramid and the nail. And it almost looks like... I mean, I guess it could just be the nail, but looking at this makes me think that there has to be a pyramid that goes into it. Like when we repair that nail, it will probably have this two-pronged shape. I'm just now realizing what's missing from that two-pronged shape is the board. So there should be another key inside of there. And otherwise, I guess we're stuck. Let's do it. These guys act so weird. It's like you've gotten used to every other enemy in the game, and these guys are distinctly just a little different. In a way that reminds me both of Quantum Break and Alan Wake. They're kind of shifters and kind of taken. And they throw little tools at you, like that's not a control thing, that's an Alan Wake thing. So they're definitely starting to give you some major hints about not only the lore and the surrounding story, but the gameplay consequences of what I think is going to happen here. No. There we go. Hello, Former. Listen, hurry, meet. Doesn't sound very threatening to me. Sounds like he's trying to tell me something. Alright, jolly good, but 2 holes or loopholes are left. danger, Director. Board broken, deeper understanding, tool other new forbidden board. Given former yours, necessary go.
Okay, what the hell is going on?
Ah,
I'm back here?
I was curious about this. Okay, so the board allowed us to get the shape ability. Wow, that is quite an obvious nail pyramid symbolism. Alright, the board allowed us to get shape, but they said you're forbidden from getting fracture. No human should have both powers. That would be too powerful. The former just jumped in and said, hey, I'm gonna give you the second power. Because you're in danger from the board. The board is saying you should, can, better not be here, Director. The other tool weapon is forbidden. Former is trying to mislead you.
Yeah, we've had our discussions.
Called it Former,
But it's
It, and
very something
Adrift.
we won't.
I'm taking him up on it. I don't mean to be a bad child here, but I'm taking him up on it. Well, that's just going to come in all manner of handy. Do not be ignorant and thick. You are being reckless and disobedient.
Can't slash, can't have.
Okay. End of the line. Let me just give a quick peek. You cannot control this. You cannot control your staff. You are mismanaging the Bureau, yourself, and the narrative. You're mismanaging the narrative. Okay, so some guys I can't wound, but I can probably shatter the ground underneath them. Is probably the thing I missed just there while I was distracted shouting at them. Like this guy. There. They gave me another chance to learn the same lesson. In case you were shouting at the board. This doesn't look like the way, but I want to get up here anyway. There we go. The thing that always strikes me as interesting about the board is just how little it takes for them to turn on you in a weird way. Which is like...
I'm tired of being jerked around the astral plane. If you're
as silly as it
listening,
is, I
want
always
some
think
answer.
of Mother Gothel from Tangled. That's the distinct impression I get. Someone who has been caring for a group of people for so long that you assume she couldn't possibly have any ulterior motive at heart, but you just don't know the history. So this is not the astral plane. It's not, Earth either. It's something else. I don't know where the former lives exactly. Been alone for so long. Tunnel is open and I am grateful. So, my gut instinct at the moment is that whatever's happening here with the nail and the pyramid and the astral plane, my guess is that former is like a piece of the board, a former member of the board. They call it adrift now. They called it former it adrift. So like it's a piece of the pyramid, whatever entity the board is, that has split off and is no longer a member of the hive mind, and has its own motives. And it seems like the nail almost separates the two of them. The former is now separated from the board and has no power, but it is also still a powerful extra-dimensional being. And it seems like the nail would allow them to reconnect in a way, but not in a way that the board wants. It seems to be disgusted by former and does not want to be rejoined. Welcome. Speak. I'd be more than privileged. I'm sorry I threw a fridge at you, or whatever.
Hi there. It was nice of you to give me something the board wouldn't. What are you getting out of it? So
Nothing or egress.
Charitable, whatever you are? Hungry?
Am I hungry?
Yeah, actually, I'd love a sandwich or something. That's not what you meant, was it?
Right, Panini, former board, abalone.
Are you bored? Or used to be?
Split
Okay,
from the board.
So you
Blame.
split because the board blamed you for...
Inside Beyond Nail Rescue House Sun. Warning.
Gotta be easier to play charades. Do I need to rescue someone? I don't know what I expected. Listen, this has been great, but
Oh, I so badly want to communicate.
thanks for your help and, stay out of trouble.
House, listen, nail, leech, burn, go.
What is Former trying to tell me?
He's
about
really
the board?
trying to tell me something and I cannot understand it. But because he's desperately trying to get me to understand, I'm much more likely to trust him. And he said, like, I need to get into the house to rescue my son. But then he said, Jesse said, do I need to rescue someone? And he said, kinda sadly, after a little pause, no. You can't rescue them. Oh, I am so curious about what is going on here. So I have effectively betrayed the board now. They might be a little angry at me, from here on out, because I took both of the powers. So I guess I can just fast travel back? They're not seeming to be giving me an easy way back. Oh, that was unwise. Give me 1 second here. I will send us back to the crossroads, and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so sorry. Let's see what the nail looks like now. Yep, getting a little taller. So we've got 2 out of the 4 keys, I believe. Let's give these passes to Emily.
If it isn't my favorite director.
Oh, I'm the only director, but thank you.
Jesse, you're back. So did you find anything noteworthy? The original Bureau expedition down here left so much interesting stuff behind.
Like their ID cards. I picked up a weird one. It's pretty old.
Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, I found a few ID cards myself. Or, more accurately, the Rangers found them for me.
Are you starting a collection?
I'm going for the whole set. I kid, of course. But I suppose they are sort of like baseball cards. Except for Bureau stuff from the 60s. Hey, the one you found is different than mine. It looks like it's a higher clearance level.
A rare one, then. Want to keep it, Emily?
Yeah, I absolutely do. But I think you should hang on to it for now. High clearance access might come in handy.
Sounds like you have something in mind.
Guilty. See, I've been going through Dr. Ash's notes, or the ones I can find, anyway. Like Darling, he seemed to enjoy hiding his most relevant research. From what I gather, there is another floor beneath the warehouse with a special lab that requires 5 high-level staff members just to access. Here, take this. It's an old skeleton key.
So the elevator
Something else
can
the
go
Rangers
down.
found. I give them $5 for every useful trinket they bring me.
I'm gonna assume this key is my ticket to that lower floor. And that super secret lab you mentioned.
Bingo bango, as Dr. Darling used to say. Well, keep your eyes peeled for more ID cards
Oh,
around
I'm
the
sure
warehouse.
he's still saying it.
If Ash's notes are reliable, and I'm sure they are, then 5 is the magic number.
Emily never ceases to bring a smile to my face with her not only deeply rooted intelligence, but her unflappable, positive curiosity. She has the right stuff for this kind of job, and I really appreciate that about her. Appears like there might be something else new. Let me
The
check.
Rangers found a section of the containment sector in the caves, but no house shifts occur down here. Strange.
That
I should get
is
back out there.
strange.
Agreed. The astral bleed won't stop itself.
Something I didn't really notice. We went through this section. Woo! So sorry. We went through this section over here that leads to the collapsed department, which was like an actual modern day sector of the Bureau that was down here in the Foundation. And I just assumed, oh yeah, it's the oldest house. It shifts all the time. No big deal. But what Emily was just saying is, nope, no shifts occur down here. Like we've been saying all along, this is a stable area. So how did the collapsed department get down here? It must have been intentionally removed and sent here, because it can't have just randomly happened. But how is such a thing even possible? Okay. There is one thing Oh, there's so much I want to check. I was going to say, there's one more thing we could do, but it's like we have the fracture ability now. We can go in all of these places. We can go back to the collapsed department, etc., etc. But if I had to pick one, I'll try to limit myself here. Let me just run back to the collapsed department real quick. I want to check something here. Transit access or collapsed department. Let's do collapsed. Because I just want to know what's going on with these cats. And I think while we were just passing through... So sorry, my microphone is seeming weird. Hopefully it's just on my side. While we were just passing through, I thought I saw something down below a fire break. But I didn't have time to go check it, and then it went right out of my head. It might be this fire break. Let's see what we can find here. There's our little kitty cats. Okay. So this one... I don't think we've seen. This one was in the box outside the collapsed department. That's the first one we got canonically. And then this one was waiting for us at the top of the elevator in the warehouse after we broke all that red stuff. So typically a fire break has 3 doors. But we can only open 2 of them, seemingly? With 3 cats? So there's something weird about those. But this, I think, is where they're winging off to. That's what I mostly wanted to confirm. So wherever we're finding these, I'm assuming they're all over the Foundation. But whenever you find them and hit X on them, they come back here. So I should remember to go to the collapse department, fire break, whenever we find a cat. And we'll see how many of these doors can open. There must be something hidden down here. But we'll meow our way to it. Lovely. So this is the first time you see the department. So yeah, like this was not a shift. Apparently this is intentionally here. But it's also literally a modern day section of the facility in an area that has been closed since the 60s. No one has been down here. And I know when we were coming through this collapsed apartment, we were finding documents by that lady who led the research team down here, and she was incredibly angry, righteously so, that this had happened and no one was coming to save them. There was no escape. I guess everyone probably died down here who was in this department when it happened. So it makes me wonder, was it the board? Or was it Former who brought them down here? Or was it something we did, like Northmore? Or somebody before he was put in the power plant? There's so much history at play, it's hard to know. But I will stay positively curious about it, following Emily's lead. Alright, let me check the map one more time. There is this weird question mark section there. Let me just fast travel across and see if we can find that, and that will be our last little thing. Coming up on 2 hours here. I've probably spent enough of your weekend on my floating around and desperately trying to figure out mysteries. But I do appreciate your time and patience. I've been having far too much fun. Okay. So at the far end of this, take a left. I think this is where that movie camera was stored, if I'm remembering right. Stop shifting! I beg of you. I know that's kind of your thing, but stop. Still heading the right way, I think. But I must need to get up there. Not left yet. Okay, so that's not a real elevator. Ah, I can finally get through here. Okay.
Welcome to another episode of Brian's Movie Den with me, the ever-lovable Brian Hinnerman. Today I want to talk about a new film I found at Movie Night. That's Night with a K, the mecca for VHS aficionados in the greater Dallas area. Yeehaw! The movie is called Delivery Disaster. We open in media res. A mailman drives a truck full of packages down in an endless American neighborhood as a pack of rabid dogs chase behind. Now, these dogs are nothing like my stepmom's corgi Chuck. These were some real nightmare hellhounds. The dogs keep pace with the mail truck, tearing chunks out of the driver's legs and arms. Each package he throws out the door is marked by his bloody handprint. screams in pain and confusion, and this goes on until the movie just abruptly ends. There aren't even any credits,
jeez.
which is a pretty bold choice. Is this film a commentary on how our 9-to-5 jobs are killing us, or how hostile the modern world is to outdated concepts like mailmen? Perhaps it's merely a statement about the futility of purpose and how no task can ever be really done. There are lots of ways to interpret it, but for now, let's get to the part you're all waiting for. It's score time! I give this film a 4 out of 5, only because the actor frequently broke the fourth wall by looking into the camera and shouting at it, like he was shouting at the audience. A little too on the nose for me, but I did enjoy it,
That's
and I recommend you
just
check out other films
horrifying.
produced by Blessed Pictures. Bike Hard,
Blessed
and Bullet
Pictures.
are the only others I found, but this little art house studio certainly knows how to push the boundaries of Western cinema. And a friendly reminder that there will be no new episode next week, as I will be visiting my aunt in Delaware for Thanksgiving. Thanks for
Enjoy your
listening,
Thanksgiving.
all you Lion fans, and remember, we all love movie magic, but don't forget about the you magic. Until next time, Movie Den. Brian's Movie Den. Movie Den.
I have a new favorite podcast. This is fantastic. So, that's absolutely horrifying. I know we read something about the movie camera and Blessed Pictures already. Let me see if I can find that. Not that menu. No, you take your time. That's fine. Okay, let's see here. Case files, perhaps? Movie camera. Action Max camera, altered item 80. Was acquired in 2016. The item first came to the Bureau's attention after a hospitalized mailman from somewhere in Arkansas claimed his injuries had been caused by a movie camera. Further investigation connected the incident to altered item 80, which was being shipped in the mail truck at the time. The packaged camera was later found in an empty warehouse. The return address led agents to a P.O. box located in the San Fernando Valley belonging to a company called Blessed Pictures. Whether Blessed Pictures is involved in the creation and dissemination of the item's VHS films is unknown. The following is a list of all known films believed to have been shot by altered item 80. Shoot First, Die Last, Coffee Bullet, Billy's First Car, Bike Hard, and Delivery Disaster. Item was used in the filming of an unreleased western in 1968 on the Italian island of Sardinia. A cast member was killed during an on-set accident. Stopping production, it is believed that Blessed Pictures bought the camera when the equipment from the shoot was sold at auction. So I'm just trying to piece this together a little. That guy just said he watched the movie Delivery Disaster. And in it, there was no opening, there was no credits. All it was a mailman in a mail truck being chased and eaten by dogs. And this says a hospitalized mailman claims that his injuries were caused by a movie camera. And the camera was being shipped in the back of the mail truck at the time. So just because he was near the camera, he was the closest person to the camera, it was able to create a film about him being eaten by dogs that is watchable. It spat out a VHS tape that has been seen by Brian now. Yet, no one was filming. The camera was packaged at the time. Like it's not as if it was in front of the car. So it's really interesting that the movie camera seemingly can create VHS films by its own means, I suppose. It doesn't actually have to be pointed at it, but it does actually injure the person. Like, he was injured. It doesn't say he was bitten, But he was hospitalized, whatever happened to him. So there is something weird there. I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open. Okay, so we still haven't found the question mark room. I cannot use this elevator, so I don't know why it's here exactly. There's seemingly no other way. No holes in the bathroom, for example. And then this is the end of the threshold, I guess? Yeah, it moves back into the crossroads from here. So I'm not sure what that question mark room is. I'm going to have to find it. However, we are now above the 2-hour mark, and it is likely time that I go find some coffee. So, with that movie camera mystery freshly in mind, we will be right back here next time. I am definitely going to want to do a little poking around and see if we can find out more about that. So thank you for coming with me to find Langston's Runaways and the second key for the Foundation's nail. We are now well on our way. I will be back here next time for more fun leading up to the big AWE expansion here at the end of August. I will be trying to do all of this Foundation stuff, though not rush through it, savor it, as well as the end of Alan Wake, the final 2 DLCs, and we need to do Episode 6, Departure, over again, because they wiped out half of it for copyright reasons. Silly me. So, we'll get that all done, I hope, here before August 27th, when the Control AWE expansion comes out. Thank you for bearing with me, and having a grand old time down here in the Foundation. I will see you back here for more movie camera investigation. Bye for now.